Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I have two disclaimers for today's pod. One is that in the very beginning of the pod, I may have implied that the shop is a nice place for me to, quote, run away and hide from the wife. I intensely love my wife, and she is not holding a gun to my head while I say this. She is at work right now. I intensely love my wife. In fact, so she allowed me the entire Labor Day weekend to thrash on the car and drink beer and listen to whatever the fuck I want in the garage. So, in no way, shape, or form do I ever need a place to run away from the wife. However, that being said, if I did... What's up to the kids? All right, I'm gonna drop my kid off with you, and here we go. I got a case of Coors. He's got a case of Bud. He got a case of this, you know. And then they go and they just pound fucking flats of beer until fucking like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and that was how you kicked off the weekend. And you know, I had always thought too. Once I saw this, I was like, this is a place where, you know. Not just for me to run away from, you know, for me to be like, oh, yeah, honey, I got that thing out in the shop I got to take care of on the car. Your car needs an oil change, right? Let me throw it up real quick. That other, you know, my friends could come over and just be like, oh, yeah, I told the wife I got to come over and help you do a full transmission swap today. And it'd be like, it's 9 o'clock at night. What the hell are you talking about? Full transmission swap.
Transmission swap at 9 o'clock at night.
How much? She didn't know how long it's going to take. And anything to get me out of there for a couple hours, you know. So, but no, it's cool. So we're not doxing people. We're going to refer to our work friend as Avon. And if Avon is here, my main concern is who's going to listen to the pod on Monday. Or on Tuesday.
I will still listen to
He's going to still listen to the pod.
I will still listen.
Yeah. No, I hate the worst part about the pod is I hate editing because I hate listening to myself talk.
Yeah.
Because obviously you sound different.
Yeah, for sure. I already know I am going to sound different. I came with the expectations of sounding different. But the thing can also be, how do you think you sound, right? Okay. Yeah, so I've heard that like through the like bone and ear perception, but I've also heard there's like a psychological perception of how we sound. I think exactly that's what it is. Because when I listen to you guys sound exactly the same. But I'm pretty sure when you guys listen to yourselves, you sound different. It sounds horrible. Yeah, so it's a whole psychology shit. Like it's like, who am I? How do I sound? What are we doing? Why are we here? Why are we here? You know, yeah, no, that's absolutely. I'll just move this closer to you, just because I have as the wife says, I have a speaker in my throat. I've swallowed a speaker, but yeah. So you drive right now? That's a Malibu? No, that is an Impala. That's an Impala. Yeah, that's a 2015 Impala. Yeah. You know, and we kind of talked about we talked about this at work. Is like that. A lot of cars now is, unless it's like a specific brand, like a specific, like if it's Mustang or Corvette or whatever, you sit there and a lot of cars just all look the effing same. Yeah, everything is pretty much the same. It's a copycat league, I guess. Yeah. Everyone's just doing the same thing. No one's coming with creativity. How do we change that? Who the fuck knows? Well, so I think part of the blame is it was the mid to late 90s, Volvo. It was a fuel economy test and aerodynamics test. Mm-hmm. And what they found was, obviously, that anything square drags on air. And so that's why all of a sudden everybody dumped the square, the beautiful everything that had an edge on it, and just went, everything will be smooth now. Round circles.
Round, yeah, for the most part. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's fine, but there should be a balance, no? Like, shouldn't we have boxes and circles? Like, why not?
I don't know. I kind of feel like, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it because Jeb and I were at the gym, and he said there was a dark horse, a Mustang dark horse that showed up, and I said something. I was like, I don't know. I don't like the new Mustang. He was like, why? What about it don't you like? And I was like, I can't really put my finger on it. I feel like they're trying to go back to a kind of a squared front.
Yes.
But then I look at the back and I'm like, ugh. I don't know. I don't know what it is. There's also a lot of plastic on those cars.
Very much so. Yeah, a whole bunch of plastic, no metal at all for the most part. Even in the fucking engine, it's plastic. I also don't like a lot of accoutrement on the outside of my car. The two Mustangs that I have don't have any badges, and it's not that they were debadged or anything. Like the GT, it came with nothing on it. Right.
So in '82, the GT had nothing.
I always told myself if I was to spray my car, I will debadge it. Like, I don't care for the badges at all. You know, what does it add to the value of the car other than aesthetics?
The boomers will get upset at you. The boomers will scream at you.
Well, fuck them. Like, I don't care about the fucking boomers.
We're not on YouTube right now, so you can 100%. And also the other beauty of that too is that I don't have to bleep anything.
Yeah.
So I've just been out there on the internet dropping the F-bomb.
Yeah.
My parents don't like it though.
I think that YouTube's changed that, right? So
Maybe,
I think the first 3 minutes now, no curse words, but once you pass the 3-minute mark, then you can. Yeah, I believe that's the case. I'm not 100% sure, but.
Well, we did it completely wrong that one time then when we just swore our asses off in the first 3 minutes of the show, and then we didn't swear for the rest of the show. That was counterproductive.
That was kind of, ass backwards, if you will. Demonetize. They put the stamp right on there.
Instantly demonetized, and then the rest of the show when there was no cursing, we were fine. Yeah. But take us from Avon's car journey. Where did car journey begin? What was the first thing you drove?
So the first vehicle I driven and owned was an Acura Legend. It was an Acura Legend, 1990. My mother, she held it down to me. Like, she passed it down to me. And the car was a piece of shit. Keep in mind.
Not to offend our Japanese listeners, Acura is a very, very good car.
Yes, Acura was the car brand itself.
Very good car.
Good car. But that particular car that I had, the gas gauge didn't even fucking work. So there's many times where I would run out of gas and not even know it. And keep in mind, this car I had at the age of 16, so I'm already stupid, right?
Yes.
It's a lot I have to learn in this moment. And I remember going to the mall. It was a good trip, right? So I went to the mall. I had 2 young ladies with me and my friend.
2! He's pulling out 2! 16 years old, he pulled out 2!
Yeah, so we went to the mall, did what we had to do, left the mall. Driving back, ran out of gas. How far is the nearest gas station?
Not walking distance.
That shit took at least 45 minutes to walk to.
Well, I mean, you could have just called an Uber, right?
Oh, no, not back in those days.
Back in those days.
What the fuck is an Uber?
The listeners are just going to go, what an idiot. Why didn't you just call an Uber?
And back then, you didn't want to call your parents because then you looked like a fucking idiot.
Fuck no. I'm not telling. So I had fully working gas gauges on my Chevy Cavalier when I was in college. And I ran out of gas on the way to, no, it wasn't algebra. I can't remember. It was one of the ones above algebra, and it was an important class that I had to be there for. I didn't miss a test or anything, but it was important, and I had a really mean, straight off the boat from Taiwan Chinese professor.
Damn.
And if you were a minute late, he would kill you. And he was like, "No, leave class, no more for today."
Oh shit!
And I remember getting in the car going, "I'm already late. It's on E. I'll be fine." And it died halfway to school, and I But yeah, anyways, I digress. Yeah, so what did you do?
So walked to the gas station, obviously, because that was my only option.
How many miles do you think it was?
I wouldn't even know, to be honest.
Wait, did you leave your buddy with?
So we all walked.
Okay. Okay.
So it was
What a
cool.
story.
It was a journey. It was a journey, but we all walked. You know, had someone to talk to or whatnot. Went there. Obviously got the gas. Walked right back. Filled the bitch up and then made my way. But prior to the gas situation, we got lost when we was heading back home, and we were in an area where it was a bit secluded. And it was just a one-way road, but no houses, no nothing.
Oh my gosh! You
Right?
just got eaten by gators.
Who knows? Maybe,
The
right?
banjos start playing. The trees are speaking.
So
Vietnamese.
keep in mind, I'm young, stupid, still learning life, right? I reversed the vehicle. You know, instead of doing a good old 3-point, because it was a dead end. Instead of doing
Just driving backwards.
no, but I was driving backwards at fucking 30 miles per hour.
Oh my lord!
So I pressed the brake and I turned the bitch and it whipped on its own and hit a small little like palm tree. It was like a baby palm.
A little Palmdale. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So keep in mind that happened prior to running out of gas. Yeah,
and,
man.
and the women in that car, the young ladies
Yes,
in that car,
the young ladies.
sitting there going, "Oh my God, he just broke this car."
The car, like on the passenger side, had a whole bunch of dirt just lunged in there, right?
Oh my God.
But that was just the worst that happened of it. You know, cleared the dirt out. Went home, obviously, but did run out of gas. But once we got the gas and I got home, now I have to explain this dirt. Because there was still dirt there and there was a little, you know, bump.
A little bump on a Acura Legend. A little bump on a
Little bump.
90
That wasn't there
Acura
prior.
Legend.
The bump wasn't there prior, but now there it is.
You either weren't going as fast as you think. It's option A, or option B. Acura Legend is the ideal tank car for a new driver because it survived hitting a Palmdale with no problem.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But that was my first car, man. It was my baby, you know. So going to my next vehicle, had a Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Well, what happened to it?
Oh, so the Acura, gave it to my cousin. I gave it to a cousin.
Okay.
Because at that time, I started working, you know, started
Yes.
getting my own monies. I was able to afford a vehicle, and I wanted a Mitsubishi Eclipse. I don't know if Fast and Furious was the reason why I wanted said Mitsubishi Eclipse. It could have been, because it was during that time frame.
So Tokyo Drift came out in the 2000s.
I'm talking about OG.
OG ones. So I think Tokyo Drift was the second or third movie,
Yeah, I think it was the third.
and it was considered the outcast of the franchise for a long time.
At the time, until they wrapped it back around.
But it also like garnered a cult following because it was the first time in America that JDMs were on screen big time.
Yeah.
And so you had a few you had these few nerds who went to go see it and went, "Wow, hot Japanese girls in cars that go sideways, sick." But you think it was off of the original?
It could, yeah, the OG.
Because in the beginning of the movie, he had an Eclipse.
Yeah, it was a green Eclipse. It was the same body style and everything. I don't know if it was
Really?
a 99, but it probably was. I think the 96 through 99 was the same body style, yeah. So it was a black Eclipse. I hooked it up.
You had a black Eclipse.
Yes, I
The
hooked it up.
almost same car as.
Yes, and I'll show you
Oh
a
my
picture.
gosh.
I'll show you a picture of this Eclipse.
We'll
but,
put it on the thumbnail.
Sure, why
We'll
not?
put it on the thumbnail.
So I hooked it up. I got 18s, put it on there. I got the projector lights. I got the back Altezers lights.
Oh yes.
Had two 10s in the back, but it sounded like 12s. Obviously, I needed a sound system, so you know I had to get the 12s,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I had bass control, so I could turn it off when I needed. And then I also had I had radio, like a what was it? A Pioneer radio. You know, back then how we had the little faces we could have switched out from time to time.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So I had that, man, and that was my baby. I dropped it down with coilovers.
One of the most dangerous things
Yeah.
you can do of all time. So how did you do it?
No. So I had someone do it for me.
Oh, okay.
At the time, I didn't know, so I had professionals do it. I had friends that had Because, back then we were into the Japanese cars, right? Like we had two set of people. You had people that was into American vehicles, like box Chevys,
Yes. Yeah.
what is it? Name it. It's whatever. The Caprice, the whatever. It's just so many different people that was into that. And then you had people that was into the Japanese Honda Civics or the Acura Integras or the, Honda CRX with the Prelude, the Prelude with the H22 engine, all of that. So, yeah, so I was into the Mitsubishi, obviously. And I mean, it was a fun car. I'm not gonna lie to you. I lost that car and it got totaled. And
so that's why I was asking. Why aren't you still driving car X? And that's what I never want to hear.
Yeah, I totaled it. And it was my fault. And I had that car for probably 4 years. So it served me a good time. It was fun. Then after that, I got a 2003 Impala. And that car is still around today. My parents actually have it. It's like
fantastic.
Yeah, it's like their drive around, do whatever car.
That's so great.
Yeah.
2000s Impalas are very sturdy cars.
And here we are with a 2015 Impala. So I stayed with the Impala brand. But guess what? Impala no longer exists because they discontinued them in 2020. So here we are.
Well, that's part of my fear is that. I just saw one right before you came. I saw one on Motor Trend is that they're going to bring back the Nissan Xterra as an EV.
Oh my goodness!
They're talking about bringing it back as an EV in 2028, and I'm like,
damn it, man!
What are you doing? Trump's the president. The globalist EV cabal is gone. What are you talking about?
We need our gas guzzlers, man.
Burn the so because the algorithm sometimes likes me. I saw somebody did an AI video, which is slop. It's slop.
AI slop's all slop. Over the place.
And occasionally I indulge in a little just to see. So if I know who's created the AI slop, I'll indulge just to see.
Right.
Because I'm not a creative, and sometimes I have a couple guys who are former infantry guys that are in PSYOP, and sometimes PSYOPers don't make the best artists for making their work come to life.
Understood.
But with the advent of AI, when you're sitting there and you're like, what would be a really funny commercial? Now I can type a prompt into Grok and it does its thing for me.
Right.
And this particular one this morning was, it was these, I think it was supposed to be coal miners, but they were like directly shoveling the coal from the mine into the furnace to generate the electricity. And he's like, man, they're really sucking up the gigawatts today. And then it like flashed along the electrical lines to this like typical Californian looking person. And she was like, hashtag I'm doing my part to save the polar bears. And I put out and I shared it, and I was like, all right, now do one with the little orphan slave children in like Malaysia who are mining the cobalt and lithium for your fucking batteries, dickhead. That's the real like worst part. Like people screaming out blood diamonds. I'm like, listen, the blood diamonds are not even as big of a problem until you see a pregnant woman with a 6-month-old on her back mining fucking lithium in some fucking third world shithole because you need your fucking iPhone and your Tesla.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, man. I mean, what can you do, right? They're going to try to force this shit on us, and it's like, okay, we're going to stick to what we know, right?
I'm not living in the pod. Avon, I'm not living in the pod. I'm not driving the electric car. I'm not riding the electric train. I won't do it. I won't do it. They can't make me.
They're going to force it on you, brother. I'm sorry.
Bill Gates, I'm not eating the bugs. I'm not eating the bugs while you eat. I just resubscribed to Butcher Box. I'm not eating the bugs. I'm eating my steak. I want cows.
Give me the cows.
Speaking of taxing the cow farts, do you know they charge us for rainwater disposal around here? Stormwater disposal.
Do they?
They charge us for that. It's like $35 a fucking month.
Hold up. Is that a part of our property tax?
It's part of the utilities. It's part of your utilities every fucking month.
Interesting.
I'm like, how do they calculate that? Every time it rains, well, is it storm water or just regular rainwater?
Yeah.
Get fucked. Get out of here. Because we're polluting it.
So what happens when it's a drought? Then what? We're good?
Oh, you're still getting charged for it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what
just
the
in
fuck?
case, you know.
How is this even fair anymore?
The local government down here is exceedingly corrupt. I think that I hadn't even lived here for 2 months, and prior to moving down here, all the issues that we had moving into this house, I was just like, God, I don't even know if I want to live here because the local government's corrupt as shit.
But rich government isn't corrupt. Can you give me one government that isn't corrupt? I thought it was a synonym. Like, I thought they go hand in hand. No.
That's an interesting question. And so the problem with that is, and this is a slight cop out. Now we're getting into like stuff that we talk about in secure spaces at work when no one's around and the pilots aren't watching. So I would pose to you, what do you consider corrupt?
So corruption to me is doing things that doesn't benefit the people that you serve, but yet it benefits you. To me, that's a big part of corruption.
So I would pose that a non-corrupt government, or a fairly non-corrupt government, would be...
All right, let me sum up for you what the conversation kind of devolved into, because that second or third glass of whiskey kind of hit on me. The crux of the argument is that non or less corrupt governments tend to be exceedingly authoritarian, leading and ruling through fear that anyone who gets out of line is going to get real quick. So some examples were exceedingly authoritarian governments like the former Soviet government under Stalin or the Nazi government under Hitler, because a lot of those guys were in fear of their own lives or so deep in the Kool-Aid that they believed what they were doing was the right thing for their people. Evil and terrible, and then obviously in the case of Nazi Germany, dragging people off to camps and then doing all of World War II. And then, obviously, in the case of the Soviet government, dragging people to camps, doing the famine in Ukraine, and mass murder on a highly criminal level. But that was essentially what we were talking about. And then, as all conversations about government devolve into, Avon and I started talking about Rome because... Gladiator.
Saddam Hussein.
Oh my goodness.
Saddam Hussein.
You're on a fucking roll right now.
Government. so dictatorships. I think. So I could go even further back, like to monarchs. I think originally, when you go back to the times where we were monkeys and we're just coming out of the woods, right?
Correct.
And you have like Babylon times and Solomon and all that, King Solomon and all that.
King Solomon.
You have a collection of people and they're like, we need a leader, right? The lowest form of government is one person leadership, right? And the king comes out and makes all the decisions for everybody. And he is doing, presumably, out of pure of heart, he is doing for the people in their best interest, right? And then you get corrupt. But if you have an uncorruptible man, like, for example, like Caesar. Caesar's been long demonized that he took power because he wanted power for himself.
Yeah, he was a self-serving king.
But was he? Or what was he? Or was he tired of was he just like, he woke up one day and went, fuck this, I've had enough. I know what's best. I'm going to do what's best. I'm going to take over. And I will do what's best for... Because there was a period of time where Caesar was the dictator of Rome, and he ruled benevolently.
Right.
Now I'm being like Jeb, and I can't say words on a fucking pod. But so I think there is a line there for any autocracy where someone can start out as not corrupt. I'm doing for the people, and then the line becomes blurred. It's the same as with, and this is like the folly of the republic, is you start out, hey, you come from town X, and you're a leader amongst the community. We want you to go to Rome and represent us because we need our voice to be heard. You're going to be our representative.
Right.
And you go there with the best of intentions, and you serve for your term, and then somebody comes to you one day and goes, "You guys aren't making a lot of money. You guys are making no money.
Yeah.
What if I could set you up with a nice villa afterwards? All you have to do is vote this way on a bill." And then you go down this path, and now you get what you're talking about.
So, what you said there, right? I agree with you. You do have many, rulers, if you will, that come in with the right intentions, right? They're looking out for the people in their best interests. And then, somewhere down the line, shit just changed. It's like, fuck this. We're just gonna switch shit up because this isn't working out. I guess maybe that's just how this shit works. Like, it seems like there's no other way it could go.
I suppose, and that goes along with one of my, I need to have a mug that, shit, somebody's going to steal this idea. So I already have a mug that has a quote from Plato, I think. It says, "Only the dead have seen the end of war," and it is some people think it's a cliche quote, but I think, I really like everything that Plato did, just because a lot of that stuff is very, like, how you interpret it. There's a similar quote that I really like, is that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Five Finger Death Punch did a song about it, where they quote that line. But yeah, so if you look at the patterns in history, you have monarch is basically the baseline, right?
Right.
The first, aside from the Romans and maybe the Greeks, but not on a massive scale, the first country to do republic is us. So I guess kind of little known fact, Poland started electing kings like really early on, before everybody else, and they had some kind of form of constitution very early on, like I think pre-gunpowder age, but kind of not as widespread. Like we are the first. And then the quandary I have is that, so like Russia goes to communism and socialism bad.
Right.
And then they kind of are creeping on the way to democracy. They're still an oligarchy, and they're really fucked up, an authoritarian government.
Right.
But what happens when a country has, I guess we kind of skipped a lot of the steps to authoritarian government. What happens? I think you're going to see a new form of government. What happens when a republic becomes corrupt?
Okay.
Because Rome started as a monarchy.
Right.
And then they went to a republic, and then they went to a hard dictatorship, like empire. And whether or not you had a good emperor decided whether or not you were going to have a good life.
So can we say that, the good old saying, nothing new under the sun? It seems like patterns are always being followed.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So right now, we're in a republic. Right? Semi. And what does that lead us to next? And that's the scary part, right? Because we don't know what it leads us to next, but we do have history of what it could possibly lead us to.
And part of the issue with that, I think, is that for a lot of countries, it's very easy. You see throughout history that these people, it's easy for a monarchy to go to socialism or communism with the promise that it brings of like this is for the people and that you will be given control.
So we know that is the case for everything, because everyone believes that it's for the people.
Right. Because that's what we in general, that's what we yearn for. And there's people out there who think
and I think that people like Stalin, people like Hitler, authoritarian, people like Saddam out there think that people don't yearn for freedom, they yearn for order.
Right.
Because they fear the chaos, and they will. I mean, people make the same argument for the Patriot Act and stuff like that, is that they will yearn for order in the face of chaos, and that they will give up liberties and rights and freedoms if they are confronted with chaos. So it's I knew we were gonna have a good one on this one because the majority of the time, like it's some nonsense stuff, but and funny stuff, but the conversations that we have at work is you pose the intellectual posings are always very on point.
So should I change? Because I'm always the intellectual one.
No, absolutely.
I'm giving
not.
absolutely
not.
As Matt would say, unk vibes.
So unk vibes, but like you kind of and so some people will hate me for this. So when I was a kid, when we learned about like the great civil rights activists and movements, everybody was Martin Luther King. Right. And then it wasn't until like I got to high school that I found out there was this other guy out there called Malcolm X.
Malcolm X.
And the reason why, as I understood it, that teachers never talked about him was because originally he was very aggressive in his advocating.
Yeah, very aggressive.
But his conversion to Islam, his he had this like awakening that was kind of, I wouldn't say similar, or I wouldn't say directly aligned, but similarly aligned to.
It was a different approach from Martin Luther King. I mean, what we know as Martin Luther King and what he's done, everything was peaceful, right? Everything was more on the lines of, we knew him as a preacher. He came from a good background, as opposed to Malcolm X. He was a pimp. You know, he was a gangster, like when in his origins. Yeah. So I think they didn't teach us that in the beginning because that wasn't good, right?
It's maybe not political. So there's political correctness.
Correct.
And then there is.
That's a better way of saying it.
Did you ever have to read To Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah.
And it was weird that I was reading this and I was realizing this as I was reading it when I was in school. So the first half of the book, everything is rosy colored, and then the second half of the book, you go through and Scout, the main character, she's realizing that, oh, the rose-colored glasses are slowly coming off.
Right.
And I realized and I saw things in my own community that there was the political correctness that, like, my dad would come home and be like, we had to sit through an HR thing again today about this and that, and we're building fucking helicopters, spaceships from Mars. Why the fuck do I care about people's pronouns type of shit? And then there's a different political correctness where you're censoring certain people from history, and you're going, or not censoring, but being selective.
Yeah, very selective. I agree.
And I remember in school, people being like, well, but what about Malcolm X? Oh, well, we'll get to talk about him. And then it's like maybe 30 seconds in class, and you go, so he was this guy. But no, that's kind of what, when I think about that, I think about some of his interviews. When you talk about, like, should I change? Absolutely not.
Right.
Because every single time anything that we talk about, you sit there and you have that same kind of like Malcolm X response where he just goes, so why do you think that? So ask me this, answer me this. So what do you think? You know, like that. I like one of the first interviews I saw of him, I was like, oh, this guy's on it. And whether or not he had radical ideas or not, whether or not he had aggressive ideas or not, like, the guy was asking questions. The guy was dialed in.
Right. So
you're dialed in.
Yeah, and it's good to be dialed in. And I think we also like to challenge ourselves, right? To think beyond, right?
Yep.
And try to understand certain things that we probably never understood before.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I get it. You know, the intellectual part of it.
Well, the uncomfortableness too, because I think that you're very much a person who,
if it's an uncomfortable topic to like some people that they want to tiptoe around talking about it, I've never seen you get, well, aside from a certain coworker, but not in a, oh, I don't want to talk about that, but as in a, I'm going to get upset type of way. But as in like, you don't shy away from uncomfortable topics. You sit there and you confront head on, and with that same type of like, so no, let's talk about it. I mean, there's a lot of other people too that are that way, but that's a rare thing to find in today's society, where everybody's scared to have a conversation because they're afraid of I don't want to be canceled. I don't want to be canceled.
The backlash. I mean,
what will people think of me?
Nah, fuck what people think of you. You know, just be you, right?
No,
that's what I was
Absolutely.
taught. That's how I was raised.
Absolutely.
That's how we grew up, right? But I guess in today's day and age, that isn't the case. But yeah, you're right. Understand.
My short answer to this is don't change anything.
Don't change shit.
Till the FBI tries to create a cabal conspiracy to try and kill you.
Hey, look.
Because you're too popular and your message is too important.
Once the FBI's involved, everything changes. Everything changes.
When the feds come for you, then maybe, turn it down.
Yeah. All right, so here's my Deadpool fourth wall break, number 2. Or I guess this is number 3. Is this a 5th wall break? Anyways, this is also a great transition piece because we took a break for a second because I was having phone issues. But yeah, so to clarify, I did think I was going to have to do some heavy editing on this part, but apparently that third or fourth glass of whiskey kind of rallied, and that didn't come out as bad as I thought it was. I thought for a second that I made Avon sound like some kind of crazy anti-government nut, but like a Dale Gribble type. But no, that was good. All I meant was there are certain qualities of the unabashedly, unashamed, irreverent type that speak their mind and pose questions. And, I think there's some people out there that are, they see past the, well, somebody's going to get offended type. And they just go because they want to ask questions. They want to learn. They want to hear what other people have to say. And that's definitely our buddy from work, Avon. And no, I 100% never change. So keep being you, brother. And I think it's time to get back to the show. Shit.
Yeah.
Eyes wide open, looking at video.
It'll be 24-hour videos of burnouts from Mustang. But yeah, so in addition to the Nissan Xterra this morning, I saw that. No, it wasn't even this morning. It was like 30 minutes ago. So they're gonna do that, and then in the same breath, Jim Farley, who's a comedian, actually, he's getting ready for when he no longer is the CEO of Ford, and he goes and becomes a fucking comedian. They're posting stuff right now. Can you believe this? They're posting stuff about the Mustang GTD, which is their highest level Mustang. Is like their race level Mustang. Is going to be available in Europe.
Available in Europe
for purchase.
For purchase.
And they have videos out. I didn't save one of the videos, but they have videos out of the GTD of like Italians and like French sipping their coffee in the morning, and the GTD screaming down streets. And they have wanted posters up, and the wanted posters say something like, if you see this vehicle, report to police and or deal with it.
Right.
Like loud noise, like deal with it, noise complaint type stuff. And I'm like, Jim, you're advocating for EV bullshit. What are you talking about, you fucking moron? What are you talking about? And on the same, this guy, it actually happened right after Jeb and I got done recording that last one, where we were like, they're gonna make a all-in-one EV platform. We got done recording that. I got back to the house. I walk in the door. Ding! Like Motor Trend comes up and goes, Jim Farley proposes he wants 1,000 horsepower dirt rally machine built on the Bronco platform. What are you talking about? You can't advocate for EV bullshit and then say, I want I want gas guzzling death machines.
So can we say he's being political and he's just playing both sides?
I don't know. It scares the fuck out of me. What do you, so like
He's trying to make everyone happy. That's what it sounds like.
I think that there's a plant. I think Jim Farley. What are you talking about? I think they're trying to. At least Ford hasn't turned around and gone, you know what the world needs? It needs an electric Mustang, and only electric Mustangs. Because Dodge made a fumble. They fumbled that bag. They had a base. Dodge was known as the guys who snort coke in the board meetings and shove fucking Hellcats in a fucking caravan.
Took risk? Like crazy risk?
No, as the guys who were like, if it can fit a V8, we're gonna put
that shit in it.
You know, like they're sitting there lighting the spliff, going, put a V8 in it, and put a supercharger on the V8, and if there's no clearance, just take the hood off, like type of shit. While Ford's over there going, we'd like to make our EV Mustang 4-door.
Not the Mickey Mouse
Will
voice.
people like that?
They've got all kinds of ditty tapes on us. We have to make the EVs now. Who has stuff on Jim Farley that he's coming out there and going, we're going to make a universal EV?
I think he's just trying to follow in Elon's footsteps, and he's trying to build that type. He's trying to get his fan base to come over to Ford. But I think that Jim needs to just focus on his fan base. Like
Be
the
you,
Ford.
Jim.
Yeah, exactly. This is what we were talking about earlier. Be you.
Be who you are.
Yeah.
And who you are is the guy who came out and said, doing that, what was that? Is that scene from South Park where they have like the CEO of BP who comes out, he's like, we're sorry. And he's trying to show he's like relating to the common man or some shit. He's like, Jim, just come out with your King Ranch and out, we know, it's fine. Out on a nice big ranch and just be like, out with your King Ranch F-150 and go, Ford is going to make gas-powered engine cars for the rest of time because people out here in the sticks need them. And if you want a manual transmission car in your Mustang, by God, I'll die before they put an automagic in all of them.
Right.
Like, because he came out and he said that, and the fucking Ford stock soared. And now he's coming out going, oh, rip a Coke. Yeah, all right. EVs. Okay. Yeah. All right. Also, I want 1,000 horsepower death machines from Mars. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, man, it's the stakeholders. I'm telling you.
What are you talking about?
Stakeholders talk to them.
So this kind of segues into our transition here. Roush. What do you know about Roush?
I don't know much about.
So Jack Roush is
Roush.
Jack Roush is a wild guy. He's been doing stuff with Ford for forever.
Okay.
For forever, like limited, like it. Carroll Shelby's household name. Jack
Yes.
Roush is a very household name for Ford.
Got it. Okay.
If you want to put an 8-liter supercharged pushrod engine that will push whatever amount of horsepower you want, if you want it to be XXX or XXXX
Right.
horsepower, because you're rebuilding a fucking 69 Camaro, but we recommend that it be a Ford. They have an engine for that. They also used to make stuff like the Jackknife, which was like a fucking 900 supercharged horsepower S550 Mustang. They also make stuff like the Nightmare. For the first time in a long time, Roush is doing stuff with another car company.
Oh, another car company that isn't Ford.
That is not Ford.
Oh, wow.
And we have a sample. We're going to live react. We're going to live react to it. It's going to happen.
Has to be an American company, no? I would assume so, right? Has to be.
You're going to be disappointed.
Oh, no.
You're going to be disappointed. It's going to
Treason.
honestly, it's heresy. It's heretical. So here we go. Well, that's... How do I do this? Open a video player. All right.
Oh, no.
It's a Nissan Frontier.
Wow.
It's green though, and green's one of my favorite colors.
And they have it in the desert and everything. Shit's souped up.
No engine modifications, but a lot of
The shocks.
stability modifications. A lot of Roush performance stability modifications. Also, rims. Roush rims. Especially for this car.
Titanium painting.
And the signature Roush seats. And steering wheel.
And this is his first time working with Nissan.
I believe this is the first time with Nissan.
And he's only worked with Ford prior to.
Primarily, I really can't think of or find a time where he worked with somebody else.
So I wonder what happened.
What happened is right now they don't have any Mustangs. They don't have any. If you go on to Roush's website, they don't have any Mustangs on there. They're only selling trucks. They're only selling Ford trucks. Why? Because Jack Roush and Roush Motors like to fuck with V8s. It's not in their brand to go fuck with these EVs. And I think truly that Jim Farley or whoever's on the board, by trying to steer the company towards V8 stuff, you're turning off people. Like RTR is another one. RTR started to branch out, and they're doing other stuff other than Mustang, but they're starting to like before he died, Hoonigan. Oh my gosh, you know Hoonigan, right? Ken Block. Ken Block left. There's actually a low-key conspiracy that Ken Block left Ford as a sponsor, and then he died shortly after.
So they're trying to say
Ford knocked him off. That's what I'm saying. So
that's the only thing that makes sense.
No, it's the only thing that makes sense is Ford killed him. Cut that. But just real quick for a palate cleanser, just because I know that you will appreciate something that's not. Why does it look like that?
You've heard this story before.
Why doesn't it go? How can I make it big? I'm gonna make this big. See if I have signal enough to do it. There's another truck right now that they do have, which they brought back. But I was surprised. Usually when they bring back this truck, they bring back the Nightmare at the same time that they bring back the Jackknife.
Okay.
And the Nightmare is this like, the Ford Lightning.
Yeah.
It's this Ford Lightning type truck, and it's whatever. I'll have to watch it on the small screen. It's very much. Oh wow! Thank you so much. That's terrible.
It's a legend that never sleeps, lurking in the shadows.
It's a very similar type, low to the ground sport truck. I think this one's like. I think the new Nightmare is like 650 horsepower. That's a commercial for a truck.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What is that other shit?
Its howl echoing through the streets.
Shit's ripping too.
Controlled, but always reaching for madness.
You got the Timbs.
I've seen legends rise and fall, but this one keeps coming back for more.
So they brought it back in 24. That was the video for the 25, and they're bringing it back. They're keeping it on for 26. They only bring it back for a couple of years, and they usually bring it back with the Jackknife. There's no Mustang options for Roush right now.
That's very interesting. Hopefully that partnership can rekindle itself. Hopefully Ford will make
I hope Jim Farley gets fucked.
a husky ass V8 that no one can deny.
So, and part of the issue too is that
So Chevy has always been like, yes, and this year we're going to put an LS in it. And this year we're going to put, 10 years later, and there's going to be an LS in it with minimal difference. Right. And Ford comes out and goes, and this year we're going to try a new DOHC 32 valve monster of an engine. And it's going to, when Ford stops changing stuff up, they've been on the coyote for a while now. The coyote came out in like 2014, 2013 was the first Coyote V8, and they haven't changed up the Coyote. It's a great engine, don't get me wrong. Yeah. It's working for them, but they haven't innovated and put out. They're on like the Gen 4 Coyote. Mm-hmm. What? Bring me something new. Bring me something that gets me excited. I'm not excited.
Do we have any of our American brands that are coming with innovation nowadays?
I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, they're innovating EV.
EV. Good old EV, eh?
It's EV. Yeah.
Because I haven't really seen any innovation when it comes to the American brands, and I felt like we were the leaders at one point.
Yes.
We kind of just
been
falling behind ever since.
Because EVs, because of the cabal. But so the other thing with that too is that, and why I was a little concerned that Nissan was coming out and saying that they were going to make electric Xterra, was that Toyota came out and said that they were going to do a special V8 run. They only make very limited V8s.
Yeah, very limited. That is not their specialty, for sure.
Is not, but that they were going to do a limited V8 run potentially for the Supra if there was interest. Which is huge.
That's going to sell.
Because right now, if you own a modern Supra, that's a BMW engine. And Toyota implied that they were going to be making a V8 engine from scratch.
So they're going to go through their growing pains for sure when it comes to the V8. But one thing that I can respect about Toyota is that once they figure some shit out, they kind of master it respectfully. They do kind of master it, and they don't really go against what they know. Like they stick to what works as opposed to what we got going on here.
And we can we can know that it will have German level engineering precision, but it will be cost affordable. Yes. Because that's what the Japanese do.
Yeah, very costly.
As much as I sit there and I'm like, fuck JDMs. That's what they do.
That's one thing I can respect different, places when it comes to their vehicles and how they make them. I'm not big on the fucking South Korean car. I don't give a fuck what you tell me.
No,
I'm cool.
I'm not.
But the Japanese cars.
You don't like the Kia Soul?
Fuck no, I don't like the Kia Soul. I don't like Kia anything.
You don't like Kias? Oh wow, that's
fuck
crazy.
No.
The Kia Stinger? That's not a.
Nope. I don't give a fuck what it has a Kia badge on it. I don't want it. And I don't care if you debadge it. I still know this shit's a Kia. I don't want it. I don't want a Hyundai or a fucking Kia. Keep them shits.
When I was at Fort Benning, I had there was a young kid that almost rear-ended me backing out of a parking space. Almost rear-ended my Mustang. And somebody was like, what's a $40,000 car? And your car's only a $20-something thousand car. And I was like, you shut your goddamn commie mouth, you son of a bitch. He's like, well, his car's more expensive than yours. So I was like, shut the fuck up. This is America. Fucking eagles into the fucking
stores.
But that's not the only thing that we've lost. Is have you heard about the? So first off, are you a Cracker Barrel connoisseur?
Last time I've been a Cracker. So, no, I am not. And the last time I've been probably was like 2-3 years ago.
So you don't go to church a lot, because that's the after. So when I was a kid, church. you go to Cracker Barrel after church.
Oh, okay. That's the thing, right?
I haven't been to Cracker Barrel in a long time either, so I haven't been going to church, clearly. But yeah, so apparently, and so I have a little, we've totally deviated from the script, but it's okay.
It's all good. This is what the people want.
This is what the people want. So on the left is the Cracker Barrel logo. We have the man sitting next to the barrel. I assume that's Mr. Cracker next to his barrel. That's because it's called Cracker Barrel, Old
Correct.
Country Store.
Yes.
What are you going to have on there?
Mr. Cracker and his barrel.
Correct.
So we have... Oh, I don't know why these came out blurry. But, like, that's what it looked like. It's an old country store. And then they make it look like this
modern age bullshit.
Modern age. I don't know if I have a better one. What do you think? Give us your hot take. Avon's hot take.
Hot take, they should have never deviated from what worked, right? If it's not broken, don't fix it, right? So I heard about this situation, right? Because they have a new CEO.
Yes.
And I guess the young lady would like to modernize everything and make it look like fucking Best Buy instead of.
It does look like Best Buy
instead of like
that's going to be clipped tomorrow.
Instead of like a old fashioned, you want to go back in time sometimes, right? Like there's so many things that's been changing here left and right. McDonald's isn't the same from when we were kids, and fucking Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. All these fucking restaurants. I
forget what they took from us.
They took a lot from us. Fuck. They took everything.
They took
everything.
The Wendy's sunroom, the fucking all the like kids area for McDonald's.
Yeah.
That hit home.
Yeah.
Talking about McDonald's.
Fucking Pizza Hut, right? Didn't Pizza Hut used to have a sit-in restaurant? Nowadays it's just like any other pizza joint. You just walk in that bitch. And
really? No, it did. Yeah. Pizza Huts were walking.
It was like a restaurant.
Sit down.
Yeah, it was a sit down. So I don't know. I think that they're trying to be too modern and cool, and they're going away from their identity, and they're losing customers that way. And I can see that happen in the Cracker Barrel. I can see them losing customers, like people that's probably been going there for years and years, generations and generations, just because of these new changes.
I mean, the last time I was there, I got steak and eggs, which is like the simplest thing to have, and it was very salty, and I swore never to go back to that Cracker Barrel. But that is not the sole reason. They dropped like 17% or higher. No, maybe it was 30%. They dropped significantly. Their stock tanked.
That's bad. And did this change just happen overnight or what?
Yeah, I'm sitting there scrolling through on the Instagram looking for car news about Jim Farley smoking crack cocaine, about EVs and stuff, and I see all this stuff, and it's like, whoa, what's going on? Like my favorite one is that they had, oh man, I don't know what it was. I think somebody had put like it was like the new photo of what new Cracker Barrel looked like, and it was like Dylan Mulvaney, that dude who the Bud Light fumble happened with. It was like Dylan Mulvaney. Next to that, and it was like what this Cracker Barrel looks like, what Cracker Barrel used to look like, and it was Sydney Sweeney, and somebody had cropped a Cracker Barrel like crop top on her. And I was just like, and people in the comments were like, never forget what they took from us. And I was like, what the fuck happened? What? Trump is the fucking president. What are you doing? Stop changing things.
Yeah, I don't understand the whole changing shit that doesn't need to be changed, but obviously you said the stock is down, what, like 30%?
Yeah, no, they suffered.
So, I mean, obviously that's what the people do not want, right?
The response is good.
Yeah, the response. So they need to figure that out, because I'm pretty sure they still have some OG Cracker Barrels that's still around that hasn't been changed.
The boomers are going to hate this.
Oh yeah, 100%. And the thing is, the people that they're trying to, the next generation, right? They're not gonna care about this shit. No. They don't give a fuck.
No, they're too. So to that point, to that point, this is the most terrified I've ever been on the road, and this is somebody who drove a way overpowered 40-year-old shit box through the Blue Ridge Mountains and almost lost it and went into a wall. I was driving to the gym today. Dude in a gray Silverado, and I look over and I can't see anybody.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, that's not a self-driving car. That's an older Silverado.
Right.
And I kind of do one of the look up, and it's a kid leaned all the way back, and he's on his phone.
Oh my goodness.
The phone I saw before I saw the person.
I
can't see the back of his fucking chair.
That's disgusting.
What are you doing? And I'm sitting there going, my life is in danger. And when the light turned green, I watched him go, as if it was a bother that he needed to drive. Back in the day, people used to
Driving the car was like the thing. It was the experience.
Yeah, we love driving our vehicles.
And now these Gen Alpha and the later Gen Zs are so fucked because their brains are fried. You know, you remember that old ad that was like, "This is your brain."
Yes.
Boop, 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 boop. This is your brain on drugs. This is your brain on your fucking cell phone.
Yeah, I think that was Dare, right? That was the
It was a Dare thing with a line. You'd come out and be like, "Don't do drugs. Don't do cell phones. To fuck the drugs. Don't do cell phones."
Yeah, but that's where we're at right now. So it's like, what the fuck can we do? See, we just have to assimilate to the book. Not assimilate to it as in do what they do, but just be prepared to adapt.
To fight.
Yeah,
To fight them. Resist.
Yes.
The resistance against the EVs and the fucking phones.
The phones. The fucking phones, yeah. But, oh well, we'll see what happens with Cracker Barrel as this whole thing progresses on, right?
I don't want to see. I hope they go under. Fuck them.
You want them to go under?
They're terrible.
You know, so
they need to learn like Bud Light learned.
So you said you had the eggs and it didn't taste all that great, right?
The eggs were fine. The eggs and hash browns. I usually get eggs and hash browns, but the steak was terrible. It wasn't like drumsticks.
So I went to Olive Garden the other day, right? And I haven't been to Olive. So keep in mind, I haven't been there in years. Yeah. I mean, last time I've been to an Olive Garden prior to going was like 2015 or some shit like that.
Oh, wow.
So I went to Olive Garden this year, sat down, had the same shit that I've always had when I used to go.
Yes.
Nothing fucking
What do you
changed.
get? What do you get?
So I usually get I get several things, right? But I get the tour of Italy. Yeah, I
get the tour of Italy.
The tour of,
I knew.
That's my go-to.
I knew.
The tour of Italy is my go-to.
Why?
Because it's the tour of fucking Italy. What do you mean? What the fuck? Isn't it simple?
It's the
You
tour.
have
It's the tour of Italy. It doesn't
lasagna?
change. It's the
You
same
have
thing.
the Alfredo. You have the chicken paw. Like, what the fuck? Can we complain?
I was hoping you were going to say, because when you're here, your family, hey,
So, yeah, so it tasted the exact same as it did when I used to go before. And I was like, I can appreciate this shit. And since then, I've been going. Because I was like, they did not change shit. They didn't deviate. They just said, you know what? This is what's working for us, and we're going to stay right here. And now, look, I'm back. They got me back.
Now, you go 2000. The very first time when I'm in the high chair. 2000 in the high chair. Well, no, I was probably sitting at a booth at that point. But anyways, you're in the Olive Garden. You're sitting there. You hear your family. They haven't. Nothing's changed.
Nope.
It is Olive Garden. They come by. They do your thing, and at the end of the meal, you get your mints, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel was like that, and then they came in and they went, you know what it needs? Metal, steel. It needs to look sanitized like a fucking hospital.
Oh my gosh.
And Olive Garden over there in the corner just going. we had the rehearsal dinner. The rehearsal dinner for my wedding was at Olive Garden.
Oh, really?
And one of my boys spoke up and was like, "We're going to fucking Olive Garden." I was like, "Hey, you got a problem with the Olive Garden?" He goes, "No, not at all. That's how I know that when we're here, we're family." And I was like, "Oh, we're family."
So what other restaurant can you say did not deviate from anything and they still remain the same and they still hold their value?
So I thought it was Wendy's. Wendy's sold out because I saw a thing came up and it was like, "Do you remember the Wendy's sunroom?" And I was like, "Yeah, what happened?" Because I haven't been in a drive-through occasionally. Usually when I'm on the road, hit a drive-through for Wendy's. But like, yeah, they sold out too. I went in and Wendy's was like, McDonald's kind of turned into like, it's fast food. But Wendy's was always like, Wendy's burgers are square because they don't cut corners.
Right.
And my father was a Wendy's stockholder, and he would be like, "Son, we don't buy McDonald's stock because Wendy's burgers are square because they don't cut corners." Yeah. And I'd be like, "Dad, I don't fucking care." What are you talking about? And
I'm just here to eat.
I had ordered one while I was on the way to drill, and it was fucking putrid. It was terrible. And then somebody posted a thing about the sunroom, and they were like, "Do you remember?" It was like 90s kids. "Do you remember these?" And I was like, "Oh!" And they're gone. The sunrooms, the aesthetics.
When it came to burgers, Wendy's was my go-to spot. It was never McDonald's. It was always Wendy's.
It's a good man right there.
And nowadays, I don't even touch that place. And they've changed a lot, you know. What you used to get when you went to Wendy's?
I get a Dave's double.
Dave's double?
And a chili instead of fries.
Respectful. I like it.
The Dave's triple or Dave's double, like you can't go wrong with that. Or the Baconator. What's your go-to?
Yeah, it's the Baconator. The Baconator, and I used to get the spicy chicken sandwich.
Spicy
I
chicken
love that
sandwich
shit.
is
Yeah.
the shit.
Yeah, but it's
Love
not the
the
same
spicy
anymore, you know. And have you heard about McDonald's lately?
No. What?
So I guess they're having issues with customers. Customers aren't going. No one's buying this shit because it's overly expensive. So now they're saying, hey, we understand, we hear your frustrations, we're going to lower the price. People are saying, why the fuck didn't you lower the price before? Because everyone at the top, CEOs and everyone, they were getting fucking raises while you guys were having everything, you know, the cost of fries and fucking burgers be more than it needed to be. And that's why a lot of people have been going to, I don't know if you noticed, but Texas Roadhouse has been like the #1 chain.
Oh, yeah. We went to a Texas Roadhouse the
Yeah.
other day and we had to wait 40 minutes for a fucking seat.
And people are going to Chili's now because the $10, you know, 2 for $10 and all
Yeah,
that.
yes,
And they're like,
yeah.
what the fuck? How is this restaurant cheaper than a fast food place?
Yeah. I think the order the other night at fucking Wendy's was like fucking $30-$40.
That's ridiculous.
For chicken nuggets, fries, a chili, and a Dave's triple.
So imagine
It's like $30-$40.
So imagine you coming from the era that you came from, paying what you had to pay, where that shit was like less than $10.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say less than $10. I'll say like 15.
15 sounds about
15.
right. If the old man and I are working at the house, and he goes, "Hey, I'm hungry. Let's go to McDonald's," and we go through the drive-through, it'd be about $15.
Exactly.
And that's when we go through, and he goes, "Hey, you want to splurge and get a large chili?" And it's an extra, like 25 cents.
Yeah.
But that old man would sit there and go, "No cheese and onions. They're gonna charge you extra." I looked on there for cheese and onions on my fucking chili. It's like $1.25
Really?
each.
Oh,
each.
shit. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
It turns like a $2 chili. So the large chili now, I think, is like $5.
Damn.
When it was just an easy upgrade. So you know, so that goes to a larger point. Jeb and I kind of talked about this on the last pod, as you know, because you're a loyal follower.
Yes. And listener.
Who's buying these fucking cars? Who is buying these $60,000, $30,000 SUVs? The wife's Mazda CX-30 cost like fucking $35,000.
Yeah.
Who's buying these cars?
It's not only who's buying these cars, but the cars are shit.
Who are you marketing them to buy?
Women.
That they're gonna pay? That they're gonna pay
They're
this?
going to pay it because think about it. They're looking at the aesthetics of the vehicle. They're looking at how the car looks, as opposed to us. We're looking at what
That's an interesting take.
We're looking at what the fuck is under the hood. You know, how many miles we can get per gallon with this shit. You know, we're looking at all the things that will actually benefit us other than looks, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of these cars nowadays, they're breaking down. Like you have 2024s, 2025s on the side of the fucking road. But
So to that point, very interesting point. So I get in a car the other day, and the Mazda cranks over rough, and I'm watching the RPM gauge, the tachometer is sitting there going, and I'm like, whoa, that's not good. I have that sometimes because I'm a bad Mustang owner. I have that sometimes with the EcoBoost. It'll do that shit. It'll do shit like that because it needs an oil change. I know. Hey, baby, I know. It took me like fucking 2 weeks to get an apron on the shop here so I could get it in here, jack it up, and do it. But so I says to the wife, yes, yeah, that's the same oil that I just changed. Do you know that O'Reilly's will take the oil back?
yeah,
That's why those are all full of oil.
Oh, okay.
That's every single oil change that I've done in this state since 2021.
Why were you holding on to them?
I didn't know where to take it.
You're a good
So-
man, because most people would just dump that shit out.
That's what I should have done. Just dump it. Fuck the EPA. But yeah, so I get in and the wife is just like, well, yeah, the guy says, or the sticker says at 13,000, and I'm like, no, I'm like, you need an oil change now. She goes, well, yeah, it needs to be soon. I'm like, check this out. I don't think you know what now means. Now means fucking now.
Right now.
You need an oil change today. Because it cranks over and it's rough.
Yeah.
It is rough when it cranks. And I was just like, what's going on here with this? So no, I agree with your point on, are they selling it to women who are like the woman who is just following you through the airport and she's going to whatever destination. It doesn't matter. You're going to whatever destination.
I remember I was watching a video, and it was a young lady that had, which car? She had a Tahoe, right? 2025. And she said that she had to bring it in because there was some engine failure. I don't know what the issue was, but it was some engine failure.
That's a lot of machine for somebody.
Yeah, and it couldn't be fixed. So they gave her another car. So I was like, okay, cool, because most companies don't do that. I mean, dealers won't do that at all.
You just swapped cars?
Yeah, they just gave her another car. So she has this new car now. Same shit. Not an engine failure, but something else happened. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? How is it that this brand new car that's never been driven on a fucking road all of a sudden is having all these issues, Are they just cranking them out to just mass produce and not really?
That's a scam. Somebody's being taken for a ride.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. But it's scary. And on a Mazda, because I told you my complaints with these oil pans being plastic.
Yes.
Most companies.
Yes.
And I know Mazda is one of the companies that do have,
I haven't crawled under it.
Oh, so you haven't
know.
crawled under? Okay.
So she, I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Honey, I'll take care of it. I will, take care of it, make sure it's fine. I'm like, all right, okay, sure. No, they're going to do it. I paid for it. I paid
Warranty?
for it. Yeah, it's some kind of package that came with it, like that was the total bundle of the. I very honestly, I couldn't believe when she showed it to me. She got a great deal, and from Africa, I found a landline and I called the salesman.
Okay.
I was like, hey, my wife came in there with one of her buddies. I was like, I need you to be straight with me right now. I'm like, she showed me this stuff. I'm like, where's the catch? I'm like, please. I'm like, I am like 6,000 miles away from home right now. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I know the game. Just be straight with me about this. And he was like, hey, yeah, man, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'm trying to just move product off lot right now. And he was like, I am just trying to he's like, I have, this was in 2024. This was a 2020, I think hers is a 2024. They had product that was 2025 and 2026. They were trying to get on the lot. And they were having a hard time. He's like, I'm not trying to fuck your wife over. He was like, we're just trying to get rid of the car. And it was at sticker price at very low APR. And I was like, all right. I think it was actually below sticker price.
So around what time would you say, month-wise?
Shit. I couldn't recall. I think I think this was before it was definitely before the first of the year. It was probably in the summer.
In the summer? All right. Because, I mean, they usually try to clear the lot, right? So that they can add in the new additions. So, I mean, it makes sense.
Which is what I thought would happen in fall, because usually they have the fall sales.
Right.
But I think it was more in the summer or spring, because it was like right after I'd gotten there, and we'd been trying to get her a car and driver's license beforehand, but she wasn't able to get it. So she got her driver's license, which I was kind of surprised by, but okay. She got her license, and then she went out to go get the car, and it was a really, really good deal. I was surprised.
I think moving forward, a lot of these cars are going to be cheaper, right? Because, I mean, they're not moving them off the lot as quick as they would prefer, and a lot of people aren't buying them, so they have no choice but
Just get
to
rid of
lower the price. And I think a lot of people are going to benefit, but now you have to say to yourself, am I getting a good car? Although this is a brand new fucking vehicle.
Yeah, we've had some issues. So I, you know, all that infotainment stuff. The Mazda that she has some issues because of the infotainment system, and I wonder about all the electronics, and we see this kind of at work and stuff too.
Yeah.
All the electronics. The more electronics you put into stuff,
The more problems.
the more problems. My father was an electrical engineer for like 40, 50 years. He'd sit there and tell you, the more electronics, the worse problems.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But so to wrap this up, what is when Avon and the missus have an empty nest? You're going to Cars and Coffee. You're cruising the town. What is the car? What are we doing?
Gotta be the 63 Impala.
63 Impala. What color?
Man. So you know,
A lot of debate.
I was thinking the royal blue. You know, I want the royal blue with the white insides, the white interior.
White or cream interior?
Yeah,
Cream or white?
white. I think I would prefer. You know, debatable. I don't know. We'll have to think on that. But I think white for now. But that can very much so change in the future.
What color stitching? Blue stitching?
The stitching. Yeah, it would have to be blue.
Are you gonna? Would you do leather or cloth?
I would do leather. I think I would do leather. The thing is, I would do cloth, but I wanted to have a unique, you know, I wanted to have that showroom glow to it, although it's not a showroom car. You get what I'm saying? So I would go probably leather. It'll be hard to maintain because fucking leather, oh my goodness.
So leather is actually not as difficult. So it's water resistant. I think a lot of people are afraid of leather. Don't fear leather. It can be very easy to clean.
You have to take care of it,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
If you don't, it will dry out and start to
Yes.
crack. So yes, I would have to stay on top of it. But yeah,
I think as somebody who has cloth and leather, my experience with cloth is that it's a pain in the ass to clean,
it is.
but you don't have to maintain it.
That is true.
Leather is easy to clean,
But you have to maintain it.
but and that's as simple as like I have a Blackstone grill.
Yeah.
Just put some oil on it after you use it, dickhead,
Yeah, and that's it.
and
Yeah.
that's it.
You just got to stay on top of it. That's all. No,
Just
no
gotta stay
days
on top
off.
of it.
No days
No
off.
days off.
Yeah.
You know,
But
it sits in the garage. It's nice and fun.
But yeah, that'd probably be it, man. Lovely, you know.
What big? You gonna go with the original engine inside, or you gonna bigger engine?
Definitely a bigger engine.
And is it gonna be naturally aspirated, or you gonna put a blower on it?
Oh, this guy and his blower.
You
For
gotta
you,
put a
I'll
blower
put a
on it.
blower on
You gotta
it.
put a blower
For
on it,
you.
baby.
Just for you.
You're gonna go put that root style supercharger on it. Yes, excellent.
Yeah, man.
That's fantastic. That's the way.
And I think I would want to go back to one of my high school cars, to be honest with you. And I might get a miss. This won't be the car I'm cruising in.
No.
It'll just be a car like a car I'm working on.
retirement Avon.
Yeah.
The sometimes so you have the Cars and Coffee car.
Yeah.
The Impala.
The Impala.
And then the so we used to do, when I was part of a group called Friday Night Riders, they would do it's like a Saturday Sunday meet for coffee, and then they would do a Friday meet for burgers, and it would be a different burger joint around town, and one car would be for the burger nights. And I would say, yeah, your Eclipse, you do another Eclipse.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Do a green Eclipse. We make it exactly.
I'll make it the same exact way I had it when
Make
I
it
was
a
in
Blackbird?
high school. Oh yeah.
Oh,
It'll
yeah.
be all black.
Because as we know, if we haven't stated before, all black rims,
Black everything.
smoke the headlights.
You're gonna
black
smoke the
tint.
headlights.
It's like that. It's like that Rihanna and Jay-Z song.
Yeah.
Black cars, black birds, black
The interior
everything.
is black.
The interior is black. The interior could be cream.
It could be cream.
The interior could be red.
It can be red.
But the interior could be black.
It could be black.
Black everything on your car.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, man.
But no, No, that's good. I think that's fantastic. That's going to be a good episode.
All right. Hey, buddy. So this time it's not your wife that's looking for you, but my wife that's looking for me and telling me that everybody has to get the fuck out of the garage because I got to get back to hitting the honey-do list and taking care of cabinets that I've promised for the past 3 weeks that I was going to re-screw into the wall. And yeah, I haven't done it. So I have some cutting and screwing and spray painting and all kinds of sanding and shit to do. And well, you guys don't have to go home to your wives, but you sure as shit can't stay here. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I think this is where the song goes. All right, so I take back what I said today at work. This was the least schizo pod, the least amount of editing that I had to do. This was really great. We stayed on topic. We're talking about things that made this country great, like waitresses on rollerblades, drag races in the streets, drive-in theaters. What I always wanted for Power Horse was people being interviewed, talk about your car journey. If you have a car journey or a car story that you want us to read on the pod, or you would like to be on the show, you can send your mail to phphatemail@gmail.com. Again, that's phphatemail@gmail.com. Drive safe.